Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream. How are you all doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a nice weekend. And hope you're looking forward to the next week. Is this color better? That's not quite salmon pink. We won't be seeing any salmon pink this live stream because we're doing GigaPark, so that stream, what's it called? Channel point reward is disabled. How am I doing? Well, better than 4 days ago. It wasn't, you know, the big sea or anything. Just feeling a bit under the weather. And I thought it wasn't a good idea to use my voice for 3 hours straight. A lot. You know, that evening I did talk with someone, but you know, you don't have to talk all the time. You just in a Discord call with a friend. And I do if I have to live stream. Well, that was interesting. Thank you, Max. If it was you that banned them, I think you're currently the only mod in the chat. That was weird. I think he might be Dutch. Oh, you recognize the name from Discord. Was that the same guy who called me a faggot like 50 times? He was the troll from last week. Yes. Which might be the same troll actually as the one from a long time ago. Well, a long time ago, like a month ago or 3 weeks ago or something. You know, the guy who wanted Bitcoin from me. I told you all about him. You know, the first stream after that happened, and disliked my English. Well, whether it's the same guy as the one from a few weeks ago or not, it's always the Dutch people that don't like my English. And funny thing is, 90% of the time, I can guarantee their English is either worse than mine, or it's not worse, but their accent is worse. So that's just really funny. And I will, you know, I would lie if I say that those comments saying I have a terrible Dutch accent didn't hurt a little bit. They always do. But at the same time, you know my English is fine. Especially in my videos, you know, in the live streams I tend to forget words every now and then. But if it's videos, I can just look up the words and my English is perfectly fine. Except, you know, some pronunciations are sometimes a bit off. But hey, that's life and that gives it charm. Nice and relaxing to listen to. Yes, I'm very happy with that. And thank you for the comment. A lot of people say that. And it's both luck and skill, I suppose. I have the luck that my voice is just... I mean, the sound of my voice is the way it is. Because, yeah, I can't change that much. But there's also the way of talking I have, which I haven't practiced or anything. It's just the way I talk, and there is some kind of skill in, I'm sure. I don't know what skill it is, but there is skill in that I have. Just like I seem to have some kind of natural skill for writing engaging scripts for YouTube videos. I never really took writing assignments seriously in high school. I mean, I did them and got fine grades on them. I never took any kind of class on them, but I'm pretty good at it, apparently, because people like the videos. That make you feel better? I think a lot of people love your voice. Yes, I know a lot of people do, thank you. Because, you know, but it's the same thing. If a million people say that they like you, but one guy punches you in the face, what are you gonna remember? Oh, thank you for the 14 months, Schleek. 14 months of that soothing voice, 10 out of 10, yes. Thank you for all the support. While you're playing OpenRCT2, I'm playing Open Locomotion. Nice. Yeah, English is weird. Remember the video about the names I did a few months ago? I had 3 names wrong there. One was like Elith, which I said Elith, that's how you spell it. It was pronounced like Ailey. It's Irish or something. It's really weird. Oh yeah, presumably my writing has gotten better over the years. Yeah, but that's a funny thing. I say I've never practiced it. I've been practicing it for 3 years. Although I never took a formal class. And to be honest, I've barely gotten any feedback on my writing over the years. You know, every now and then I got, you know, wish you included this, wish you included this. But I've never gotten like any feedback on good sentence, you know, if I speak nicely and stuff like that, and good sentence structure, and whether it's engaging or not. But it's just, I suppose, a thing I've naturally learned without any concrete feedback on it, which is good. I'm very happy that I learned it. Thank you for the follow, Radel Babushka. City theme in the GigaPark, maybe. I know we talked about that earlier. We'll see. Ooh, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, Line. I appreciate that also very much. We're now 69 gifted subs. And thank you for the follow, Master Joshua 456. Honestly, the mixture of your calming voice and fantastic RCT content is a great way to relax. Very lovely voice. Thank you, Slime. Yeah, speaking about calming voice and great content. Ooh, thank you for the sub. El Riso 55. I appreciate that. Let's load up the park. Where is it? It's GigaPark version 7. Haven't played that. Have I not played that since 12.12, or is there a version 8? Hang on. Has it been almost a month since I've done the GigaPark? I mean, I did take a week off and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been almost a month. Ha, his Reddit account has been suspended. Well, he's probably not a very nice guy then. Same with the spammer. Hi, Marcel, first stream. I'm pretty sure I've watched every YouTube video. Well, welcome to the stream. Oh, yeah, I've passed the goal now, because... Well, there's a lag spike for you. I now have... At some point, I turned early scenario completion on. There was a reason for that. Oh yeah, I did a last stream. I'll give a little tour of the park. Also, while we do this is the starter area. The video about the longest coaster is doing... Longest 10x10 coaster is doing amazingly well. It's at 123,000 views. And 2 days ago, I hit my most views in a day since August 13th, 2020. So about 1.5 years. Which is wonderful. And, you know, the cost per mil, which is how much I earn per 1,000 views, is lower in January because companies don't spend as much on advertising. So I could use the views. And it's just, you know, really happy that it's doing well. Okay, so this is the starting area. We've got the little castle here, which is, you know, outside of the park. Fun fact, when I was building this, I was kind of thinking of doing like a big castle thing and stuff, but that never happened, which is probably for the best. This is Todd. What up, are you Dutch? I am. Maybe make one hidden ride underneath the pyramid in the desert area. I could do that. That's topical. Speaking of the desert area, here's that pyramid. This is the second area we built. With a pretty nice wooden coaster. Which I'm still proud of. Yeah, the penguin bobsleigh it is. And then after that, we built this area. Which is... Honestly, it's my least favorite area of the park. It was still fun to build, but it's a... Well, it's kind of like a fever dream, I suppose. It's a bit weird. Hey Marcel, greetings from Italy. I hope you're doing well. Do you know if for RCT there are challenges like small park or mini park challenges that exist for Planet Coaster? Well, you have scenarios like Pokey/Dinky Park and Micro Park, or Urban Park. Those three parks are all very tiny parks. They're all Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 scenarios though. I don't know by heart which tiny park, what the smallest park in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 would be. I mean contests. There have been. I think I participated in one not like a few years ago. I've forgotten, I might not have. I know Dirklink once hosted one where the max park size was 7x7, but there's something to do with creating a funny situation around a staff member or something. I had the idea of participating in that by just building a giant entertainer out of entertainers, but that never happened. There's those 10x10 workbenches, maybe as well. Oh, thank you for the 1,000 bits. No Warhawks. Hey everyone. Yes, hey, welcome and thank you. How you doing? But yeah, that's the candy bit. Then after that we built this bit, which is the snowy bit, the Snowland. What's it called? Winter Wonderland. Oh wait, that's it's called, yes, Winter Wonderland, which has two of the most exciting coasters in the park. At least, yeah, they're dueling coasters. There's another very exciting coaster, which you'll see later on. But I like these coasters. I think they've turned out really well. And, you know, the forest gets more dense here. We have a ride. We have a little hut with a campfire and the snow around. This is melted. You know, fun stuff. We got the fishing Eskimo here. And let's see, there's the penguin bobsled that we saw earlier. Oh yeah, and then we built the mining area. And this is one of my favorite things of the park, just this hole. I'm absolutely loving this. It's basically the hole from Dynamite Dunes, but you know, a bit different and in a mining setting. And I think it's lovely. With a nice mine train coaster, obviously. And also, to Slime, I think it was you who complained about this. This tractor is entirely natural here. It's sitting in its natural habitat. Then, you know, this is the other side, which has nice go-karts. With another tractor in its natural habitat. I was joking, Marcel. I will keep bringing it up, just cause it's fun. I forgot to mention this spinning wild mouse in the desert, which is, you know, a decent coaster. And then we got the Jurassic area, with here a water coaster, which I think has turned out nice. And then one of the other exciting coasters, which I mentioned earlier, which is this vertical drop coaster. My cat heard your voice and came to watch me. He loves you. I like cats. I like cats a lot. And I'm generally really good with cats. I seem to be like a cat whisperer. They rarely dislike me. This is the entry bit. This is the desert bit. This is the desert bit. This is the snow bit. This is the mining bit. This is the Jurassic bit. And lastly, this is the space bit. Oh, now I get it. It's bits. Oh, and I said desert the same twice. I was wondering why you did it twice, but it's desert and dessert, of course. Nice, thank you. Oh, and thank you for the follow. XXX, Rad Slime XXX. Yeah, this is a nice vertical drop coaster with a nice mountain. And here, the best hill I've ever made with a nice waterfall. Oh, thank you for the 300 bits, Max. I think another 300 bits is a bit unquite fit. Unless you count every 3 as a bit, and there are a lot more than 300. But yeah, I'm still debating whether this little hill with the waterfall is the best scenery thing I've ever built. Or this hole is the best scenery thing I've ever built. I mean, both are, of course, with your help and suggestions, but either of the two is the best I've ever done. And they're both in the same park. And then lastly we have the space bit, which has a crater. It has a spaceship shaped like a penis. And it has a big coaster and another big coaster and the Space Town. The whole by virtue of being next to a tractor in its natural habitat. Yeah, that just makes it the best. I really like this Space Town, which was inspired by another Space Town I built a long time ago. Well, a long time, a few years. Oh, thank you for the follow, Weirdo Sport. And, yeah, I got on a few coasters and some other, you know, flat rides that I didn't mention. We've got the rainbow spiral slides, or, you know, hashtag pride slides if you wish. And, you know, we got Raketijsje, which is this coaster. That's a Dutch word. And we got the Virginia Reel, which I didn't mention. And yeah, you want the monster trucks, and we got a few nice shopping areas, with this one definitely being my favorite. This is just lovely. So yeah, let's actually start with doing a hidden ride. I like that idea. Let's do a motion simulator. Thank you for the follow. Lab Anime Caucus, I think that's the name. So let's build that there. That there. Oh, and thank you for the 4 months, damselfish. I appreciate that. Don't worry, it's a dumb name. Well, it was fun to figure out how to say it. Let's see, I want that one. Then I want it like that. And then we'll do that. Now we'll connect it up. If you haven't watched my video about the pyramids, then now you know you can build stuff inside them. Oh, whoops, the supports should be that. Well, the other stuff you can't see. You know what, I'll just retrace the entire thing. Hang on, underground, there we go. And done. Now let's open it. The new video is already inspiring the park, I see. Well, it wasn't my idea. I think Max had it. Someone said it at least, and I think it was Max. Okay, fences around it. And there we go. The next section should be a Boardwalk Pier with side frictions and Virginia reels and wooden coasters. Shops like ice cream and popcorn have a swinging ship in the merry-go-round. Those are all a lot of rides that I already have. Except a wooden coaster, but I have a side... No, I don't have side friction either, but I have a Virginia reel. One of them was one I already had. I could make this into some kind of beach. Yeah, because, you know, I've done a tour of the park. And now the question is, what's the next area gonna be? Because we have a lot of scenery themes to pick from. How about a bikini lady area? Yeah, you would like that, wouldn't you? Beachland seems to be popular. Well, let's go with Beachland then. That's obviously gonna be around here. So, let's make stuff beachy. Hang on, I want transparent water. There we go. Much better. And while I do this... Ooh. How do I want to... I could just make this entirely like that. Yeah, that's probably for the best. While I do this, I want to talk a little bit about Thursday's video. Because tomorrow there won't be a video. I'm planning on mostly going back to once a week. And that's because then I can put a lot more effort into one video. Because now what I'm currently doing with the 2 videos a week is I'm kind of scrambling for ideas that don't take too long to make. And I'm kind of scared to commit to an idea that takes a longer time to make because I'm afraid I'll run out of time. Make the water go all the way to the edge. That's not a bad idea. So now I've written a video that'll probably be like, I don't know, 13 minutes long. For Thursday. And you know, there might be a short video every now and then on Monday, but don't count on it. And it's also a video I have a lot more passion for than, you know, the cash machine videos and all the pyramids videos. They were fun. But the video that I've written for Thursday actually has sort of a narrative and a thing it makes an argument. It's a lot more fun and interesting. I think. So there's a lot more passion there from my side. Okay, we've got a sandy bit now. So, I could indeed to make it fully beach. Although a beach could be on a lake. Because if I extend, you know, the water like to here, and this is all water, I think I like to build stuff here. So I think I'm gonna keep this land. I'm gonna remove the trees though. A pier, yes, I can build a pier. You know, we can do a jet ski ride or whatever. Oh, whoops. Deleted some fences. Let's place them back. Deep, deep, deep. And body do. So I was thinking of building a pier roughly from like here. And then like that way. And I don't know. Make it like that. Roughly that kind of size. It's a beach. Should the sand maybe only be close to the water and turn into grass further away from the lake? Maybe. I don't know. Do guests have preference for certain foods or drinks? As far as I know, no. Okay, what would be the best path for a beach? I mean, for the pier, this makes sense. Although actually, we can still use those supports if we use... I think I like this for a pier as well. It's kind of like wooden. The white tiles. I mean this. That's not sandy or anything at all. I don't think that fits the beach very well. Let's try this wooden thing. Does that look good? Of course I'll fill in the pier as well. I think that looks alright. You like wood, I bet you do. I've always been a fan of those blue tiles. You mean these? This is the closest we've got to blue. I don't think that fits the beach too much. I think that the wood fits the beach. Because that makes sense on a beach, you know? So let's build the path this way. I think I'll build some underground connection from here to like here. Just to make sure that, you know, the park is easier to navigate. Like that. And like that. Like Scheveningen. Well, yes, that's pretty much been the only pier I've been on in the last, I don't know, 5 years. So that's pretty much my reference point. Okay. And let's destroy that fence. Oh, and then of course, here it should become that path. And then there we go, that's a connection. First wood and then asphalt. You mean asphalt on the pier? Or you mean further away from the beach? Like that. Maybe I'll punch some holes into this to, I don't know, fit some stuff, but we'll see about that later. I'm mostly just experimenting here. I don't really know what I'm doing most of the time when I'm building this park. Won't peeps get lost on that? Do I look like I care? Oh yeah, there's definitely wrong stuff there. There we go, much better. I'll change these as well just in case. put a Ferris wheel on the pier. I could do that. Yeah, why not? That's fun. So I'll punch a hole here. And like that. We don't need space. Let's use tent. Tent fits pier. Ooh, it's black. Just like my soul. And we'll do one piece of that. Of course, with different supports. Those supports. And we'll do one piece of that, which was already there. There we go. And music, please. There we go. Now it's no longer dead quiet. Ah, the colors of this park. Hang on. Hang on. What's going on here? Okay. Question. What's wrong here? Because I definitely see something wrong. And I wonder if you guys can see it too. Drown someone with a blue hat. The preview is pink. Yes, you're right. Well, this is a blue hat. Goodbye. The tent color is right. Like, in the game. But not in the preview. What if I do select pink? It stays pink. What if I select... Huh. The preview color of that one is always purple. Well, pink. Okay, what happens if... It hasn't... No, that doesn't have anything to do with like loading the game or anything. Because it has always been pink. Because it started off as black. That's weird. Is something broken with the OpenRCT beta builds? This is not beta anymore. This is developer builds. This is like the most inconsequential, like the most inconsequential bug ever. It doesn't really matter because it still looks fine here. I don't have rainbow Ferris wheels, Max. I have rainbow slides, right here. I don't have any other Ferris wheels. So this is the first one, I think. Okay, let's go for that color as well. Oh, I like this. This looks nice. 0 out of 10, too much water. I mean, this isn't the Hoenn region, so it's not that bad. Okay, let's now put 6 stalls. Now, you know what? Let's put 8. I'm beginning to have, like, visions of what I want. And let's put them... Now, you know, let's put them right there in a kind of a square with the middle cut out in the middle. I'll put something fun. Something like that. Thank you for the follow. Orpnotricus. That's a good quote though, Max. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft recently and it's pretty much the same. I'm making a lot of epic builds of epic proportions. At least, you know, pretty epic for single player worlds and at least the biggest I've ever built. I'm quite proud of that. I'll show it off at some point during a stream, but there's not enough to show off yet. It's mostly still in the beginning stages. It's already a pretty big build, but I'm still working on the storage system, which is kind of like the center point of a build. Can you build roller coasters in Minecraft? Well, in general you can. You know, well, let's do pizza instead. Someone wanted that. But I have only built one, and that was like 10 years ago. Thank you for the follow, Vergeten68. Okay, let's do ice cream. You can't have a beach without ice cream. I'm stuck watching ads despite only going to be here for a few minutes. Well, I do have ads enabled, you know. Makes me a little bit of money, which is nice. But I don't really have any control about what kind of ad you get. And I don't really know what ads you do get in general on my streams. Build some flowers in the middle. You won't see those because there will be 2 more stalls here. Let's see what we need. Let's sell... You know what? Let's sell hats and t-shirts. We'll get no first aid stalls. Screw the guests if they get hurt on the beach. It's their fault. And the hats and t-shirts will be... they will be... What kind of color don't we have? You know what? They'll be light pink. Anyone wearing light pink will have come from here. There we go. So, what is going to be in the middle? I have no idea. Is this a custom scenario? I mean, technically, it's not really a scenario. Could do a fountain here, which looks nice. This is sort of a custom scenario, but it's mostly a sandbox. Let's, by the way, save as version 8. Thank you for the follow, Domkirk. So now we have a nice little thing here. And the Ferris wheel. Hang on, how many guests are heading for the Ferris wheel? By the way, is that... Oh yeah, the cheat is on, that's good. Never-ending marketing campaigns. How many... 98, that's a lot. Observation tower above. I don't think we need any other rides on the pier. I think especially the end of the pier is pretty much done. I mean, we'll connect some more rides to it. We need the water ride. Fire all my staff. Alright, let me fire up the autoclicker so that's a little bit faster. I just was completely blanking out on which button I had to click to get to the staff window. I'm so fantastically good at this game. Doesn't that pier in LA have a roller coaster on it? Yeah, but that's America. They build big things everywhere. Put a path underground from the end of the pier to the desert section. I was planning to do that. Why is your staff list red? It was red because I was in fire mode, which... quick fire mode, which is on Open RCT2 edition. Which is nice. Let's see, I want to add a jet ski. Because jet skis are cool. Now, this will definitely cause issues. Guests will get lost. But that's fine. Because that's not my problem. Let's do no entrance. Because that looks the best. Oh, hang on. I need an entrance to connect the path to first. I could just leave it like this as well. Otherwise, I would have to use a little bit of cheatery now. Which is fine, I suppose. Jet skis. Thank you for the follow. B. Squicklehausen. All the rides breaking and no mechanics to fix them. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? How many rides are broken? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not that bad. NCO 1701. I believe that's an enterprise, yes. So imagine sitting in one of these pods. I mean, in this situation it's not as bad, but imagine if it's broken down when it's like standing up and it's just sitting still. That would be absolutely horrible. Your park rating is tanking. Really? Didn't expect that at all. I don't care, it's the GigaPark, so it's absolutely fine. Oh, Max sent me some pictures of a pier. Yeah, that's much bigger than this pier is. That won't fit. You know, he sent me pictures of like a pier with like a super looper, or as I call it, a super duper oopa looper, a swinging ship, like a tomahawk ride, a roller coaster, a Ferris wheel, and another roller coaster. Like, dude, this is 5 tiles wide. This is not big enough for that. Wouldn't it be nice to build that on here? I think it becomes too big too quickly. I think this is a nice size for a pier. If I made this twice as wide, then it should also be much longer. To make it feel like feel somewhat right, you know, nicely shaped. Proportional was the word I was looking for. And you know, then doesn't really fit in this water area. So I think it's fine. At least put some benches on it. Oh, I will. I can put like one more right here. That's fine. Also, I'm gonna put another boat hirey ride on the other sidey side. Okay, let's first build the pathy path. So that I can correctly, you know, place it in the correct spot so that it's all symmetrical. Hang on. I built that path in the wrong position. Should be one more to this side, I think. No. No, it was fine after all. Do a submarine ride on the other side. No, submarine rides are boring. I want guests to have freedom. I want them to have the freedom to get lost and die. Yeah, very typical stuff. The South End Pier is over 2 kilometers long. I mean, this park is only about 1 kilometer wide. So, that's not gonna happen. Not sure if that's possible, but a tiger entertainer. Drown a guest of your choice. I can rehire staff now, so yeah, I'll drown a tiger entertainer. But first, I think you guys like this sound, don't you? Kind of like ASMR-like, slightly. Alright, let's pick a tiger entertainer. There's one. 23. You're dead. Drowning amongst... Oh, it was overrun by a jet ski. That park rating, it'll go up again. Don't worry about it. Okay, I also really like the... What's it called? The trikes. Can't make that change. Oh, another thing that's not working. Good. Then let's do the swans. Swans are good too. Let's make one black. Because that's what Katie's World did, and I like that. Oh, thank you for the 8 months, Prater Phoenix. The only thing better than the sounds of hiring mass quantities of staff is the sound of thousands of guests drowning. I suppose so. I really like it. You know, the best thing about my video where I drowned 50,000 guests is just the increase in volume of the death notification sound. And I can quickly show you that again. Because I have the setup saved. Let's see. Should be this one. Might take a while to load. Takes a long time to load. There we go. This is probably destroying any kind of bitrate. Let's set this to, I think it was 30? Yeah, it's 30. Alright. You know what, I'm gonna increase the volume for this. Hang on, can I do that here? Yes. Alright. Here we go. That was delicious. Ah, that was lovely. Alright, let's reduce that volume again a bit. just the way it gets louder at the end, it's absolutely fantastic. Oh, Max arrived. Very good. Now go clean up. There we go. I won't do that here, but also, shouldn't the park rating start increasing again? Because we have staff now. Let's see. What if I do highlight path issues? Do we have a lot of vandalisms? Surprisingly, why is there a bit of queue line there? That's weird. Oh, thank you for the 300 bits, Thunderstorm Wind. I hope you don't lose the scenario. I've already passed it. It's not for the goal anyway. The goal, by the way, was 5,000 guests in 20 years. We're almost at the end of year 20, by the way. Although we obviously don't have the rating at the moment. But I don't see any vandalisms. So, where's the terrible... Hang on, I can just see where the terrible rating is coming from. Inspect park rating. Oh, it's all the lost guests. Let me guess, they're lost on the pier. Let's get away from this. So, by the way, fun fact, if you do this... and you do this... Let me see. They don't think they're lost. So how do I... Because I was wondering... Oh, I can't find this right, yes. Where are these concentrated? We can see that. Oh, they're actually concentrated in the back of the park. So the guests can't find the Enterprise, but the guests that can't find it... aren't on the pier at all. You can see them flickering. They're all in the back of the park, weirdly enough. How did that happen? Is it just too far away? That can't be it. I want to go home could be lost too. I think that counts as well. Did I miss that? Oh, that's 300 guests. Yeah. Let's see where those are. Well, those aren't on the pier either. They'll find their way out. It's just that they haven't left yet. So my theory is that they became unhappy because of all the trash, which accumulated because no staff. And they just haven't left yet. Which means that Arne IJs, who was named by one of you, a while ago, is going to leave the park. So I'm not worried about it. You see, the park rating is already recovering because all the guests that want to go home, which indeed count as lost, are leaving. So we're absolutely fine. It's just gonna take us a little bit more. And of course we've lost about 1,500 guests. Which isn't great going, but the guest count doesn't matter in these kind of gigaparks. Alright, see ya, Kaiser Dragon. Would more entertainers fix it? Maybe. I saw a reference in the code where it was possible, I think, for guests to no longer want to go home. I already have 300 of them, so there should be entertainers pretty much everywhere. Well, 200. It should be entertainers pretty much everywhere. Although, I'm not really spotting anyone here. Well, there's one there. So there are, you know, quite a few entertainers. So basically the park is so big it makes the rating take forever to recover since the guests take forever to get to the exit. Pretty much. Oh, name a guest. Felicity Anderson. Yes, thank you for reminding me, Karandrakis. Okay, so I'm not going to pick one, obviously, who is leaving the park. Let's pick Greenie here. Hang on. I want green shirt. There we go. They just came in. I don't need transport rides. We're fine. They wouldn't use transport rides anyway if they want to go home. Felicity Anderson. What does that do again? Oh no. Oh no. Ah no. Ah, I need a lot more of these. To clean up after Felicity Anderson. Getting a little bit laggy. Okay, where is Felicity? Should be able to track her. I still hear guests puking. But I don't see... Oh, there we go. There's a... Felicity is somewhere here. Because there's a lot of puke here. There we go. Oh, I think I see her. It's green shirt. She's still somewhere here. There we go. There she goes. I almost clicked on her. Somewhere here. This is not healthy. No, that's another green shirt. Oh, Felicity's now there. Yeah, we found Felicity. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm not going to keep this around, by the way. You know what? I'll keep it as close to Felicity Anderson as possible. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about constant pukies. Drown a guest of your choice. You can't drown named guests. But I'll name another guest, Felicity Anderson, to drown. Leaving park? No, you won't be leaving park. You're gonna drown. That was a lot of puke in a very short time. Felicity Anderson has drowned. I know. I was the culprit. So, it's not at all guests being lost on the pier, surprisingly. We can fit one more ride on it, though. She's still leaving, just in a coffin instead of a car. Not in a coffin. The bodies are never found. Let's put the classics of classic rides on it. The merry-go-round. So let's make some space. Like that. Perfect. Did you see my latest video with the merry-go-round payback? I haven't. Was it good? Thank you for the follow, NeuroGabu. Grip all those people. They're fine. No, they're dead, but they're fine. Ah, orange. I like orange. Around 1 out of 7 of every peep is a handyman. That's nice. So what's my current park rating like? Inspect your rating. Okay, yeah. Still minus 250. Oh, still minus 200 from lost guests, but yeah, that'll clean up. And minus 250 from dying guests, which just happened. That's my... is it a fault? I'd say it's cause of a celebration. We can't put a water tornado here. Because this is water. Tornading. I really like the word tornading. Think that's being a tornado, it's tornading. I learned it from Matt Gray. Do you lose park rating if staff drown too? I don't know. Could make a video on that. And if the answer is no, then it's going to be an especially hilarious video. Because then it's like you can drown staff all you want without any repercussions. Staff do count. Ah, damn it. Then I probably won't make the video because then the punchline's not as good. I should put benches on this. I already promised to do that like ages ago. So let's now actually do it. Here and there. Like that. And there. And there. Perfect. What's up? How you doing, Tasty Pretzelda? You know what's funny? Twitch is telling me that it's your first chat message. And every stream, there are at least 5 people, probably even at least 10 people, who chat for the first time. Which is wonderful, because it means, you know, that we've got new people here. It's always fun. So I invite you all to chat for the first time if you haven't yet and you're currently here. Can you put benches up against the Ferris wheel? Yeah, that's fun, because then guests can throw something down on their heads. Pompey 606 and Crypto 420 YOLO. I can see it's your first message as well. And Kunig Burski. Jerpy4 is boy. I don't remember your name, so the fact that you're new might be true, but this is not your first message here. According to Twitch, at least. And there we go. This is your first message. Sure, Max. Sure it is. You're already moderator. Do you want to rename that merry-go-round to Horse Tornado? Did you watch 2 of these people are lying as well? Or is that... No, that's just a thing, right? It's just a thing. But I learned it from there that apparently in Britain it can be called a horse tornado. Because it's a bunch of horses tornading. And that's where I learned the word tornading. Is that actually a word? Hang on. Let me quickly Google that. Tornading. Meaning. Doesn't seem like it's an actual word. Well, it is now. These horses are tornading. And this water is also tornading. I like it. Questions about peeps and trash. How long are they willing to hold trash? I don't know. Walt Disney found that it was an average of 30 steps. That's why Disneyland and Disney World are within 30 steps every time. Well, in my park the same holds true, so at least I'm doing something right. Hello Marcel, I am James. Your YouTube and Twitch channel are 2 of my favorites. I'm glad that someone like you makes this content. Make this game very enjoyable to watch. Well, thank you, James. Where's Jesse? Going to try to make tornading catch on as a word now. Yeah, we should all try that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, and I'm going to continue this, and then build an underground path to the deserty bit. Let's see, and then I'll fill up the beach at some point. I don't really know what. I might alter this path a little bit. I really like the way it's very cornery. Those straight lines. Cornery would be the direct translation of the Dutch word hoekig. It means it has a lot of corners instead of more... I mean, technically this has a lot of corners, but this is more smooth, this path. The pier looks like a crucifix now. Well, a bit like a big cyclops or something, with the eye here and then the heart is the Ferris wheel. And the tornading water is... well, he had to go to the toilet. Let's keep it at that. The beach needs more palm trees. I can still add those. Thank you for the follow, TemTTI. Alright, let's go undergrounding. By the way, if you see occasional lag spikes, like we had just now one, that's just the game autosaving. It's a big park, so it takes a while to autosave. It's the lag spikes aren't as big as in the park where we got a lot of guests. There are a lot. The lag spikes are a lot bigger still. But, you know, there's still a little bit of lag spikes. And then we'll go this way. And this way. Oh, I need to go up much earlier. Even earlier still. Not that early. There we go. Perfect. Also, I'm gonna blow your mind for a bit. It's currently 9 PM. Where I live, at least. What does this clock say? This clock says it's 9 PM. With the bottom being there. And I'll return to this in a bit. And in half an hour, this long... did it just move? Yes, it did. The long hand, the minute hand, will have moved half a rotation in half an hour. If I remember to return to it. But this clock works. I only learned that like a few days ago. I see it more as 6:45. I mean, I did say where the bottom is of the clock. It's at where the flower beds are. Is that a vanilla thing? I kind of doubt that OpenRCT2 would have implemented this, to be honest. I would have to check, though. But I think it would be a vanilla thing. Name a guest. Pepijn DM. Pepijn Kattenkruid. Alright, I'll pick a guest that's coming into the park. So that they have the biggest chance of staying for a while. Oh, I zoomed out too much. Hang on. There we go. Pepijn Kattenkruid. There we go. Oh, and also follow and name a guest, which I missed. Good job, Marcel. Well, it's only 4 minutes ago. Not that long ago. Alright, that's gonna be Matt Gray. Hang on, with an E or an A? With an A. I think that's the British version. And follow. Do I have... I think I have those things turned off. Yes. Let's turn those on. It was annoying for a video. Ah, there we go. Mr. Frabadoink is still in the park. Has joined the queue for boat hire 7. Thank you for the follow. Gift card 500 and fire shube. Do you play RCT whilst watching? 79% doesn't. I was too late to vote, but technically I do. I mean, I watch my own stream. Sort of. I mean, it's on the little screen and I'm playing RCT. I literally just opened RCT2 on my computer to check that clock scenery, and it does indeed show the time here as well. Awesome. Good, thank you for the 6 months, Yarsnell. Do you feel better now from Wednesday? Yeah, it was just a little, you know, just feeling a bit under the weather. I'm fine. Okay, let's actually build some beachy stuff. Whatever that is. Suggestions. Because I don't really know what to build, to be honest. Sandcastles. How would I build one, though? There isn't a sandcastle scenery item. A nice woody. Well, I could make a nice woody. Hang on, I already have a wooden coaster. I said I didn't, but I already have. In that case, we can do another sort of woody. I don't have a science fiction yet, do I? No. Let's build a science fiction. Also, before I do that, let's take a little bit of drink of water. Don't forget to hydrate, folks. The giant dancing ladies. Only if I can place an octopus behind them. Science fiction's all at the top, I believe. Yes, it's the very first one. I wonder what decides this order. It's not alphabetical, and they're somewhat ordered, so it must be intentional. Because, you know, the science fiction, Virginia Reel, and Reverser Coaster are all kind of like smallish wooden coasters. Then you got the 2 other coasters with the same supports. So, you know, the 5 coasters with the big wooden supports are all at the top. Then you got the wild mice, and the hairpin is just... Sorry, the harpin is just the inverted wild mouse. Cost material, yeah, they seem to be somewhat like material. And, you know, you got mini roller coaster spiral, which have the same track type. The mine train just kind of in the middle of it all. You know, this, the looping coaster, stand up, and corkscrew are sort of similar. Then you get the hyper coaster, which is basically the corkscrew coaster. And you get the LIM, which is kind of its own thing here. It's more like the looping coaster, to be honest. Same track type anyway, except the loopings. Then, you know, you got the Twister, Hyper Twister, which is the same. And then the Giga Coaster, which is just a bigger version of the Hyper Twister. Then you got Suspended Swinging Coaster. You know, these are all the inverted ones. Then you got some, I don't know, like miscellaneous, I suppose. Steeplechase, Bobsleigh, Mine Ride, and Hardline Twister. Then you have to do flying-like coasters, which are flying and lay down. Then you got the multi-lane, which is just weird. As far as then you got 3 other kind of miscellaneous coasters. I smell an available video topic. I don't, really. Because, you know what that video would be? It would be me basically saying what I just said and then being like, huh, that's interesting. And that's it. So, yeah. Also, we have 230 viewers. That's a lot. I suppose it might be because a lot of people have just discovered my channel through through what's it called, the videos doing well. Okay, let's build this here. And then we'll use this area. Well, that's interesting. It's not a good video topic. According to, get your bingo cards ready, Tom Scott. He did say that in the video once, that, that's interesting, or that's weird. It's at least for his channel, not a very good video topic. I'm procrastinating on packing stuff to move. It's not necessarily a bad idea, if you still do it in time. Clip it and ship it. If I would upload a clip, it would be to my second channel. I hope it doesn't crash. A reverser coaster in the next area. I could put a reverse coaster like here or so. Because this is all gonna be this is all gonna be for this, for the side friction. What's a haunted heist? A haunted heist is a pair of haunted house. It's two haunted heists next to each other. This thing can crash. Yes, it can. If you take hills too fast. You won't see it crash in this mode, but you know what? I'll demonstrate it. You can see that it should crash here. Or well, just disappear, but you won't see it continue after this hill because it's going too fast. I think. No, it's not going fast enough to crash. Well, I have a video about derailing trains, so you can just watch that if you want to see it. Do you have any special video for the 100k YouTube subscriptions? I know. Although, I have something in mind. I will not say what this is. I told a friend a few days ago that I have this in mind, but, you know, he's not involved in the community in any way, so that's fine. I'm not going to say what it is, because it might not be possible to build it. But I have something in mind, which I would like to attempt to build, which would make me probably the undisputed god of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. On that kind of technical front. But I don't know if it's possible. I've only just thought of it, or I only just thought of it, nothing else. So I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that would be awesome to release as a 100k video. I might need to hurry up if my other videos keep doing very well. My boy Marcel hyping things up to the absolute max. Oh, if it manages to work, then I will start to really hype it up. Now it's just like, I've thought of it, I think it might be possible. And I might need, you know, to start working on it at some point. But I'm not promising anything. If it turns out it works, then that would be nice. If it isn't possible, then we will never know. If I try it and I tried for a while and it just doesn't work, I'll let you know what it is. That's a big drop for a side friction. Well, it's a big side friction. Thank you for the follows, Plasma Beast 240, Angel BB Kitty, and Hellraiser 911. Let's see, will it make this? I think it will. This looks kind of cool, these two turns above each other. Give us a small hint. I will not. If you succeed, you'll tell us, and if you won't succeed, you'll also tell us. Basically, but only after the fact. RCT2 iceberg analysis. That would be really cool. The video I have planned for Monday, no, not Monday, tomorrow there's no video. The video I've planned for Thursday is something like that. It's not an iceberg analysis. Well, that would be a good video idea. Thank you. But it is something similar. It's basically an analysis of why Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 has such an amazing difficulty curve and why Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 doesn't. What's an iceberg analysis? Well, you know how most of an iceberg is underwater and unseen? It's basically like that with a knowledge on a video game or any kind of topic as well. Most of the topic is unknown to the general public. So the iceberg, the top of the iceberg that's above the water is the well-known stuff. You know, and the well-known fun facts like, you know, this was coded in assembly. You know, all that kind of stuff. And the really obscure facts would be probably like, you know, it's a quarter later. You can see the minute hand has moved. Oh, it just moved again. That would be like, maybe not entirely down the iceberg, but quite deep. There we go, this is a side friction coaster. Let's actually test it. Hope it don't crash. If it does, well, I will have a roasted guest for dinner, which is not too bad, I suppose. Alright, we'll make a nice long Kuyu line. I don't know what's wrong with Helmond. I only ever see people hating on Helmond, but I don't know what's actually wrong with it. It's in North Brabant, right? Child in Time has broken down. That's a good song. And it's a lyric for my favorite song. A different song. Let's see. Obviously, we'll do the pier thing. You know. This. You know what? Let's go a little bit more beachy. Let's do blue and white. Oh, well, I didn't see your thing, Slime, but yeah, basically, you had the same idea as I did. Also, ask your question, Voodoo Troll. Go ahead. Okay. And then should have built this first. Because now I can't see all this stuff. That's fine though. I don't understand why so many Dutch people hate Amsterdam. Look at any other country and the capital is the pride of the country, but all the Dutch people do is rip on ours. Have you heard German people talk about Berlin? They might hate it even more than we hate Amsterdam. I don't hate Amsterdam, by the way. But in quite a few countries, the capital is seen as basically, you know, the stuck-up people, stuff like that. Have you heard Americans talk about DC? Yeah, as well. Sort of, yeah, same thing. I don't think, Voodoo Troll, you haven't asked your geography question right, haven't you? No. You can still ask one. Maybe it's the long one and you're still typing. Let's see. Can we make this a little bit more fun colors? This makes it a little bit more beachy. What is Alaska? Didn't you ask at the last live stream as well? Someone asked that last live stream. And I'm assuming it's you again, because it's a weird question. What is Alaska? Alaska is cool. In 2 different ways. Because it's cool as in it's awesome, it's nice. And cool as in not warm. Alaska is a But the Bam album. What is But the Bam? Is that... I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try to make a backronym for that. I haven't heard people in Mongolia complain about Ulaanbaatar. I haven't heard people in Mongolia, period. I don't think I've ever spoken with someone from Mongolia. Or maybe that's not true. There are a lot of people I, speak with on Discord or via this live stream that might be from Mongolia that I don't know the country of. More palm trees along the path would look nice. Yeah, good point. Name a guest 3333 or closest to it. Me. Alright. Oh, name guest 3333 or close to it. Knee. I thought the knee was just a random thing. You wanted me to name a guest 3333. I'm not very smart. Oh, they're actually heading to the side friction coaster. Neat. Oh, I didn't even see your name. Oh, fire all the staff. Alright, it's gonna take a while. Of course it's a knight who says knee. It's not like I don't know your name either, you're a regular. Sets of science fiction, I'll look at that in a minute. First I'm firing all the handymen, which is taking a while. The indigenous name is Udgai... I can't pronounce that. There we go, that's 1600 handymen down the drain. Luckily I don't have that many of the other stuff. How much did it cost me a month? 126,000. It's a lot. Okay, so how many people are heading for the side friction? 342. That's a lot. Okay, so what are the stats? 552, 743, and 413. Is it me, or is that intensity a little bit high compared to the excitement for a side friction? Maybe I just don't know the stats of a side friction as well as I thought I did. There are also, I mean, it's difficult to pronounce that Alaskan word or Inuit word. There are a lot of Dutch words there that are just impossible to pronounce for foreigners, especially, you know, English people. Cody wanted a stream where he pronounced a lot of things in Dutch. And, yeah, that was funny. He was quite terrible at it, but who can fault him? Hang on, did I just switch from bench? Yeah, we have different benches on the pier, which... Oh, fair enough. Let's do different bins as well then. We do need a steel side friction coaster. How would you do that though? By the way, is it me or is it extremely overcrowded here? Compared to... Yeah, this is basically empty, these areas of the park. Compared to the pier. Like, I have trouble seeing where I've already placed benches and bins. That's how overcrowded it is. Maybe you should renew all the rides. I think just using that cheat doesn't make guests go for them like they're doing for the side friction now. So that wouldn't work in that regard. Ah, could use a little bit fewer benches. Or replace them with bins. There we go. We don't need anything underground because we don't see it. It's kind of like when cities neglect neighborhoods. You know, when you don't see it, it doesn't matter. Alright, let's do palm treesy stuff. There we go. Maybe a system of sand dunes with grass on them, like in real life. There's even dune grass in the game. I don't think that fits here, though. And also, I don't think you tend to have that in beaches on lakes. Thank you for the bits. The adjusticator. What happened to Oz? I've never been to Oz. I don't know anything about it, really, other than I think roughly where it is. That unintentional dose of civic reality. Out of sight, out of mind. Now let's do some palm tree stuff. Yes, maybe a bit too realistic for comfort, isn't it? It's funny how you can sometimes unintentionally use the game for as an analogy for real life. Oh yeah, I think I've been on the station in Oz. I think I've been on trains that passed Oz. These kind of feel like too much in a grid. Let's make it more randomized. There we go. Actually, I want to make this a little bit smaller. It doesn't make sense that there's still sand there. Gonna make it like that, something like that. That makes a lot more sense. I'm gonna remove that. Get rid of that palm tree. And let's save again. Can you use some of the Egyptian theming to make sandcastle type things? I could make something, you know. I don't know. Sandcastly. But now it's more desert-like again. Thank you for the follow. Hot Hands 15. Or the medieval theming to make sandcastles. That's gonna be big sandcastles, mate. I could also make a bright pink castle. Yeah, I don't think this really works well. You know what I could do? I could try to make some beach volleyball fields. I mean, it does look similar to the desert, because we need more, like, typical beachy stuff. We need more beach volleyball fields, which I'm gonna build a few of here. Now I'm gonna use a cheat for that. Well, I'm gonna use disable clearance jacks. I don't like to use it too much, but it's a little bit, so it's fine. I'm gonna remove that thing. Oh, you can't see that. Or can you only see it from the other angle? No, you can't see it at all. Oh, I've removed it. Hang on. It's gone. Okay, now it's there. Okay, you can see it from the other angle. Good. Pull time. Best pancake time. Best pancake type. Spec. Dutch rolled up, American thick and fluffy. I mean, I don't usually roll up my pancakes, but I'll go for Dutch anyway. I've never had an American pancake, by the way. I've had crepes, and obviously I've had poffertjes. Okay, this is how I'm gonna make my lines. And that's how I'm gonna make the volleyball field. Actually, needs to be a little bit smaller. Because this is way too big. Which means I need to get rid of those. And I'll make them like that. And then also on the other side. So that you can see the lines from both sides. That's a neat trick. You know, if you're building a park which uses zero clearance and stuff, then you can use this trick to make lines in the ground. Which is a neat little trick. I think I can rehire staff again. Yeah, I've been able to rehire staff for a few minutes already. But let me first finish this field. Which will be fine. Alright, let's rotate. There we go. Still a lot of things that aren't right from this angle. There are a lot of duplicated scenery items underground, but that's absolutely fine. Then we need some in the middle as well. Like that. And that. And then we still haven't done them all. We're getting there though. There we go. Now you can see them from all angles. And let's rehire staff. See how much litter there is. Hang on. Spec park rating. Minus 192 for the litter we had. Oh, I stopped at exactly 255 handyman. That's a nice number. Security guards, which are basically useless anyway. There we go. Alright, we're not quite done because we need volleyball nets. Which is easy enough. Oh, that's a wall, not a post. The post is here. Come on. Like that and that. And then we need... oh, hang on. These are all... Big Colosseum in the way. That didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I do need these to be on the same side. Then it looks better. Okay. And where's the thing I want? There we go. We'll make this blue just for the hell of it. There we go. Volleyball nets. How do you like that? We're not quite done yet. Because, there's some invisible path. And then I can... That's a mechanic. Not a guest. That's a security guard, not a guest. I have too much stuff. And then we'll have our guests play. They're all wearing yellow shirts. There we go. They're all playing volleyball. One of them has a differently colored balloon. Those balloons are the volleyballs, sort of. I mean, it kind of works. I like this. This is the same thing I built in my GigaPark a year ago. And I thought I'd do it again. It makes it a lot more beachy, definitely. Make a balloon stall, sell white balloons, and have 2 guests with white balloons. That's not a bad idea. I'll just add a balloon stall. Where shall I add it? What's a nice place? Just on the other side of there. And it'll sell white balloons. What's your favorite type of nuts? That would be these. I really like these nuts. They're gonna get so raged by walking on 2 paths for eternity. I don't care. My favorite kind of nuts. I don't know. I don't really eat nuts all that often. I suppose peanuts. Although I really like kacang pedis. Okay, some kind of window has popped up on my computer. Oh, that was just the weather stuff. I like kacang pedis, which is some kind of Indonesian spicy peanut stuff or something like that. Which is really good. I like in RCT2 how each stall can sell multiple things at the same time. Some can here as well. You know, the Art Deco food stall sells like beef noodles and lemonade or something like that. It's this one. Yeah, the info kiosk, yeah, you have a few. Okay, let's make them do it with a white thing. So, you can be free. Who would win in a fight between the security guard and the mechanic? Probably the security guard, because... Well, they're security guards. They're probably buff. Do you have a balloon? You have a balloon. Place you there. That's not on the path. Path is on the other side. And you. There we go. What determines guests releasing their balloon? Every tick there's 20. There's like some kind of. Let me look this up. Someone commented it on my Reddit post. I was trying to recite it by heart, but it's the very same Reddit post that caused me to find out that clocks work. For some reason, my comment on there. Well, the Reddit post was on the RCT subreddit, and it's literally called Difficult Questions for Lord Marcel, which is my Reddit name. I only got one of the questions, the other 2 I didn't know. Okay, there's a random chance of 0.5% every 512th tick. There are 32 ticks in a sec, or 40 ticks in a second. And so there's a chance of 1 in 200 every 512 ticks. No, wait. Every tick is every 3.2 seconds or something. I'm not sure. No, wait. This is ticks, not the guest update function. So yeah, every 0.5% every about about 13 seconds. For the balloon to either pop 20 to either pop, which is 20% chance, or be released. So every roughly 13 seconds, the balloon pops or releases. And 4 out of 5 times that it does something... Now, I'm saying this wrong. So every roughly 13 seconds, there's a chance that... There's a 0.5% chance that something happens. And if something happens, there's an 80% chance it releases. Or 20% chance that it just pops immediately. Peeps playing volleyball looked at his map. Yeah, I saw this guy doing it earlier as well. He's just doing it again. And they can't find the ride, so they're looking at their map. They're lost. I don't care. Make a video about balloons. That's not a bad video topic. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm missing bins in between there. What else can I do to make it more beachy? Or shall I first build my reverser coaster here? I don't have that one. I like that. Oh, 0 clearance is still on. I built right through that palm tree. Needs more ducks. I can provide ducks. Hang on, there was a cheat for that, right? Where's the... Oh, create ducks. There we go. Should be ducks somewhere now. Let's see. Is it on that side? There we go. There's our invasion of ducks. Oh yeah, they make a noise if you click on them. Did you know that? There'll be a lot of those in... Well, not just... You know, this is not the only watery bit we have. We have more water. But back to this coaster. You could also use more bushes and foliage, especially further away from the water. Good point. I could also remove that tree, because that's uggers. How do you make a good reverser coaster? Well, you know what? Let's make it reverse. I suppose that's part of the joy of a reverser coaster. Did you know you can also pop floating balloons with your mouse? I've already done that several times this stream, so... I think I was aware of that. Probably. Likely. I don't know. It just now occurs to me. The reverser coaster doesn't have access to very large turns. Well, just large. You know, it only got medium and small turns. I never knew that. Well, maybe I knew it, but I never, you know, was consciously aware of it. Stuff to add to beach area. Beach huts, lifeguard tower, washed up debris. I like to keep my beach clean. So maybe not so much washed up debris. The other things are a good idea though. Let's test it. This is also a dangerous ride type because it can, just like the side friction coaster, it can crash if it goes over hills too fast. Let's reverse again. Oh, thank you for the bits, Mini Danger. Black oil soaked sand. I'm not gonna make it that realistic. Let's just say this is the beach that Mr. Beast cleared. Which he did for his Team C's thing. Washed up Kwallen. How would you make that with Roller Coaster Tycoon scenery? A kwal is a Dutch word for a jellyfish, by the way. Also, a kwal is an insult in Dutch. So to call someone a jellyfish is an insult. And it basically means unpleasant person. Or it's often used in combination with the word arrogant. would be arrogante kwal, which literally translates as arrogant jellyfish. Which is really funny if you think about it. Calling someone an arrogant jellyfish. But we do. We call people arrogant jellyfishes. David Hasselhoff with SpongeBob on his back. That would be interesting. This coaster becomes very fun once you make trains rather than individual carts. Yeah, I've seen weird stuff that happens with trains. I've experimented with that before. Trains on reverser pieces. It's fun. It's probably not very good for, if you want to keep obeying the laws of physics, because they kind of get broken. That's fine though. Do another reverser. It is a fairly big reverser coaster. That's fine. Who cares about the laws of physics? I don't. I'm breaking them all the time. Because in my house we don't obey the laws of thermodynamics. And one more hill. Hill, hill, hill. And then the entrance and the exit. Yeah, that's how I want them. It's still the same guests playing volleyball. Don't you think they're being a bit rude, just hogging the volleyball nets? Let some others play. Then again, no others are waiting for their turn, so I suppose they're the only ones who want to play. So, in that case, fair, fair to them. Marcel opens the window when it's freezing outside. His house becomes even warmer and outside even cooler. That would be amazing. It would probably be possible to make that though. Some kind of complicated setup. One of them lost their balloon. Oh, so they did. Eventually they'll all have lost their balloons. Also, we're about 2,000 guests down compared to the start of the stream. Which is not a very good, not very good going. It would literally not be possible. Yes, it would be possible, Max. If you install like a super quick superheater in your house and some kind of super weird air conditioning thing outside, which you then connect to the window, and if it's opened, they both turn on when you open the window. And then they'll both get hotter. Or, they'll get hotter and cooler. Where are you dumping all the heat? I don't know, further outside. You make the immediate outside, you make even cooler. And the heat that you extract from it, either you dump it in your house, or you dump it, outside of the environment. Because it's not in the environment if it's outside the environment. It's not my fault the front fell off. Just keep the heat and wear shorts. I am making the outside cooler. I'm making the outside right around my house cooler. Yeah, it's not breaking thermodynamics. I was just musing whether it was physically, possible to do something like that. Make the immediate outside of your house warmer, while you make the outside of the outside of your house cooler. Or, no, the other way around. It works anyway. Stop. No, I will not stop. I will never stop. I am unstoppable. Because what happens to the outside of the outside of the outside of the outside then that depends on how you work that out. This is almost as bad as future, present, past tense when dealing with Back to the Future. Oh, thank you for the 2 months, Mini Danger. I appreciate that. It's kind of like the sentence buffalo, 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 or something like that, which is a functioning English sentence, according to Vsauce. Or, you know, you got Dutch sentences like als vliegen achter vliegen, 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 vlug. Or als graven, 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 graven. Which, I like that last one. Learned it from a friend a long time ago. It basically means the sentence als graven, 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 graven basically means when dukes are digging graves for dukes, dukes are digging graves for dukes. Because the verb digging, to dig, is graven in Dutch. A duke is een graaf. And the plural of that is graven. And a grave is een graf. The plural of which is graven. I'll type it in the chat as well so that you can see it. It's this. Als graven, 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 graven. It's that. And the 2 instances where graven, 2 gravens are right next to each other. That's what we do in Dutch. Those are graves for a duke. So, you know, duke graves. It's true for all that. Hang on. It's true for all that refers to is not the same as that refers to. I almost got it. I really like those sentences. So it's again getting crowded here because I once again built a new coaster. And all the guests are flocking to it. Toen zagen. That's basically the exact same. As the graven thing. Has anyone really been far even as decided to use even go want to look more like? Now that's just gibberish, right? Or am I wrong? Is that also not gibberish? When sawing. Yes. At the 2 ships at the coast. Wait, which 2 ships? The ship that the front fell off? Did Anybody is a classic. A classic in what? Thank you for the follow, Wesco. Reverser and pirate. I mean, hang on, what's a reverser ship? There's a pirate ship somewhere. There we go. Although, it's on support, which is hella ugly. Oh god, hang on. Can I do this to the entire tile? Entire thing? Do I have to do... Alright, I'll just do it to everyone individually then. Just removing the supports. That's fine. I don't support it. Nice. The only difference is the graven one uses a samenstelling. Yeah, conjunction of 2 words. And the zagen one doesn't. Yes, that's true. There we go. Now it's properly floating. Are these guests, like, how long they've been on it? What are they thinking? They're all fine still, so they're not getting, even though they're like getting semi-stuck here, Apparently they do find their way out eventually. So they're just different swans every time that are sort of stuck in between there. They're not actually stuck. There's a Chinese poem called Lion Eating Poet in the Stone Den, which is just she over and over. She, 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 she. Like that? Okay. Beach huts. Do I know enough scenery skills, or even what a beach hut looks like, to build one? Fire all my staff. Alright. Let's go below 4,000 guests then. Someone asked if I was still advertising a while ago. I should check that. That is shipped from Age of Empires. No, it's just pirate theming. Pretty much. Chinese is so tonal, so the inflection carries meaning. I can imagine that. Pirate ship right and ship that turns around right. I don't... What? I don't get it. Right, are we still advertising? We are. We're just building a crap park where we're losing guests. How do you hold on click to build many paths or fire all your employees? Well, the employee thing is just an auto clicker that clicks like 50 times a second. But you know, building a lot of path is just this tool. Just, I don't know, this is part of the game. Oh, you mean like swinging inverted ship and stuff? Oh. Name a guest. Name a guest Gary Brennan. Don't you spell it with an A at the end? Instead of an O. It's of course my favorite Gary Brennan. Yours as well, it's everyone's favorite Gary Brennan. But I believe it's Brennan, not Brannon. But I'll do it Brennan, because that's what you asked for. So how long until we also got Chris Joel and Tom Scott? Drown one of the volleyball players, but then the other one won't have a partner. That's so sad. It's sad for this guy, because he's been forced to play volleyball for a long time. Now he's dead. And this guy now no longer has a partner. Name one toast, but that never happened. He lost his ball, die. Oh yeah, I even drowned the one without the balloon. Is Tom Scott still there? Did we already have a Tom Scott? Well, I can check whether there's still a Tom Scott. Yeah, there is actually. Tom Scott is still in the park and still happy. He spent €665.90 in this park. Then again, he came in with about 1100 or so. 1150. He was a rich boy. I think I might be to blame on that one again. That's fine. Yeah, now we're only missing Toast. Well, or Gary Brand, or Chris Joel. We could also go like further, include like more obscure Tom Scott universe characters like Tim, or just Bambi on ice when he's drunk, apparently, or Paul. Welcome Paul back. You know, people like that. Where's this beach located? Earth. Okay, at some point I was gonna try to make a beach hut, but if I'm honest, I don't really know how I will build one. Although, actually... Hang on. I have all the... I don't have all the themes. I know which theme I need. I don't actually know which theme I need. I know that there's a particular theme I need. What's it called? I think it's Asia. It might also be Australasian. Let's pick both. You must be the one person who has seen tech diff stuff more times than I have. I've seen tech diff stuff a lot. Australasia. No, it's not the Australasian stuff. Is it the Asian stuff I'm after? No, it's not here either. Or did it just... No, it didn't get here either. There are certain scenery items that I'm after that I know exist. Did you ever visit the Tech Diff live shows? They all happened before I watched Citation Needed. And they're also in the UK. And I am not... Okay, let's deselect those two. What else could it be? I don't think it's in African theming. Thank you for the follow, Brad Hammer. What are you looking for? You'll see when I find it. Should be North America, right? Otherwise, you know, I know the names of them roughly. Follow and name a guest. Chris Joel. Alright. Let's pick the latest guest that had entered the park. Chris Joel. Do you have a favorite scenario? Sherwood Forest. Alright, we have toast. Oh, is it South America? Let's see. Okay, this is North America. Oh, it is here. I wanted this stuff. Like, that's beachy, right? This is all very beachy. Is Fire or your staff supposed to be in the list? Yes, and thank you, because I need to rehire my staff. What's the context of that quote? I spit on your .coms. I was playing GeoGuessr, and you know, it's always exciting when you see a URL when you're playing GeoGuessr, because if you see a top level domain, then you can determine where you are. But it's disappointing when it's a .com, because then you don't know where you are. And that's when I said that. If it was a choice between pea and lemonade, I don't know what I'd pick. Yeah, that quote is a little bit of context. Random quotes are nice. Okay, I can probably, like... This is sort of like... you know what? I can make these into... huts. Where guests are, you know, what's it called? Standing guard. Like beach guard. And I can do that if I do disable clearance checks. Then that. Then like that. Then pick some guests. No, I need to drop them on there. Oh, stuff's in the way. No matter, I can still get them there. I'll just build path on top of it. And drop them on it. I'll force them to be on there. I already have a pirate ship in the water, but I'm not going to put bikini ladies in there. Okay, now if I remove this... There we go, there's our beach guard. It's kind of glitching out, but it works. So let's do it on this side as well. That's the wrong kind of path. And then let's remove that. Pick this guy, do that. There's another beach guard. I don't like the bikini lady scenery object. I mean, I could put a big ass Indian here, which makes absolutely no sense. But okay. Which one is the Hoff? You mean David Hasselhoff? Hang on, that's the guy, right? That's the name, right? Or did I just get the wrong name? Could also put Lady Liberty. I don't know. Where was I? American stuff, yes. This is... Oh, this is nice. If I do that... And then I make path around it. Then that becomes sort of, kind of, I don't know, seating area, thingy-majing. Something like that. Remove those. I don't know, looks nice. I don't like that now that this window is longer, it still spawns in the same position. And you always have to drag it over to get access to all the senior items. And I can remove that. Can you build a giant robot from machine scenery parts? No and no. No, because I don't want to do that in this park. And no, because I probably don't have the skill for that. And a lot of benches. Maybe a food court nearby. Well, we do already have foodstuffs here. But another food court, like here or something, wouldn't hurt. Yeah, this beach is slowly coming together. Not very fast, but then again, I'm not a fast builder. Oh, they're walking very slowly. They're kind of tired. Put benches in between the umbrellas. I mean, I sort of did. I can't put benches around it. Ah, I technically could. Hang on, let's see what's gonna happen if I... Okay, let's just remove all the benches here. And that's... Well, I think I can add benches only around the umbrellas. I noticed that as this park progresses, I'm keep being more open and open to using a little bit of scenery trickery with invisible paths and zero clearance and stuff like that. Okay, so first we're gonna do that. Actually, I know what, I can remove them all manually. That's fine. And we're gonna do this. I think I built two of them in the same location there. That's fine though. Then we're gonna use invisible path. Those walls are just so that they're not connected. Hang on, can I can't build benches on that invisible path. Weirdly enough. That's a shame. There's invisible path there, which I should be able to build benches on. But I can't. Or are the benches invisible? No, it shouldn't. Well, it shouldn't be. They might be. What happens if I change the path to something non-invisible? No, they're still not there. Can I at least add benches now? I can. You know what? That still looks fine enough. That still looks good enough. If I just use this path, which is slightly different. Can you make it invisible path now that there are benches? Oh, I actually can. Weirdly enough. Weird that that works like that, but okay. I would need to re-add the walls here quickly. So that I can do it there as well. I don't need to build it right at the moment. There we go. It's time to delete all the walls. Oh, that's path. That and that. Okay, these are easier to delete than the fences. Here you go. This is nice, isn't it? I still like this, even though this, yeah, they're not on path, but it still looks nice. It looks like a proper scenery item. Add a drink stall for a bar. Yeah, we could, you know, make a little food court behind this. I would need to lower the land for that a little bit, but that's fine. Oh. I'm gonna do it like that. It's the details that make a park like this nice. Okay, we don't need zero clearance anymore. And then I'm gonna build a laminate stall. Like that, perfectly in the middle. Then seafood. Why do blind people never eat fish? Because they can't see food. I just came up with that one. I'm proud of it. Let's do fries as well. Let's do toilets. One more on the other side. You can buy soft toys. Beach themed, presumably. Oh, hang on. We need this to be separated by a wall. Or fence in this case, I suppose. Oh, perfect. You should put wooden walls and a roof over these stalls to get a tiki bar look. Let's see. What do we have on hand? It's the American theme, right? Yeah. We do have stuff on hand. If I make this taller... It quickly gets very tall, but that's how tall it needs to be, I think at least. Yeah, because that fits on there. But that don't fit, you know. It'd have to be that tall. Which I suppose is fine. Still looks okay. The roof doesn't entirely fit, though. There's a little gap in between. Still connected on one spot. Oh, it is. So I see. It will not be for long. There we go. You know, I don't like this. I'm gonna get rid of that. What I'm gonna do instead is a little bit different. Can you build this overpath? No, you can't. What you can do... Now that's ogres. Or ugly. I can just make this a little bit less tall. And do it like that, which I already think looks a lot better. There we go. There's our little beachy area. Well, stall area and stuff. Just nice. Let's put actually benches and a bin in between, inside there. Hang on. Why can I not place them there? Oh, there are already benches on the outside there. Hang on. I only want benches on the outside, and there we go. Perfect. Please put some fences around the stalls. I can do that. Like that. And that. Perfect. Can you give us latecomers a quick overview of your new areas? Well, this is basically all I built. 2 coasters. You know what? I should make them different colored. Let's make this one white. A side friction. And a reverser. Which really could use a little bit more decoration. And we have a pier. Which is honestly my favorite bit of this area. This feels really like... I don't know, it feels really RCT-y. And... that's good. That's good stuff. And surprisingly, guests aren't screwing up on the boat hires. They're actually doing fine, mostly. Which, honestly... it's kind of a surprise. Do I see a vandalism? I spy with my little eye. A vandalism. There we go. Now it's fixed. Do we have more vandalism here? We do. Horrifying, isn't it? So many vandalisms. Who dares to vandalize my beautiful park? Drown a guest in retribution. Yeah, but then I might drown the wrong guest who didn't do anything wrong. Check how many handymen are stuck at the top here. There are 6 of them. They're just stuck at the top of the elevator. That's amazing. Recently found the vandalism plugin where you can set your staff to fix items. I think it's fine this way. Might need to put some staff only way to get down. Yeah, but that will be really ugly. I think it's hilarious. There's also 3 security guards and a gorilla. 4 security guards. That's amazing. Also a tile with a bunch of guests stuck on one tile. Yes, where is it? There it is. So, hang on. Oh, this thing isn't free. Oh, they will always write free rides, but it's not free. Actually, the whole ride price manager is turned off anyway. But this needs to be free. How'd they get up there? Now the staff spawned up there when I hired them, because there were guests here. You see, as soon as it's free, they'll take it, because guests always are willing to use free transport rides. And here you can see that in action. Even though they want to leave the park, they will still use transport rides. That's the only way in that guests actually use transport rides as transport rides. When they're pissed off and want to go home, they will not use any ride or buy anything from a stall, even if it's free. But they will use transport rides if they're free. So you can build stuff like this, or secluded areas of your park which are only reachable by transport ride. And, you know, they might not be able to find other rides, and it's not advisable to do it. But at least your guests will not become stuck permanently. But I still don't think it's a good idea. Yeah, the staff spawned up there. Because I have a lot of staff. I have 344 handymen. Now, interestingly, no mechanics spawned up there. What if I just hire a whole lot of them? Will eventually one of them spawn up there? Will guests riding a free transport ride change from them wanting to go home? I don't think so. I think they'll just use it to get home. Alright, that should be enough. Do we have any mechanics here? No. Interestingly. That's weird. But if I hire a whole lot of more security guards, do we get any more security guards here? That's handyman, but same principle. I love that sound. That's an amazing sound. I don't think so, no. We're still with 6 handymen. Interesting. Maybe because there were a lot of guests stuck. It's why there some handymen got stuck up there. I don't know. But it's interesting. Shouldn't there be a ride at the top of the elevator? There is. The same elevator that goes down. That's the ride on top of the elevator. I must say, I'm growing quite fond of this beach area. Someone said to add a Helter-Skelter, which I shall do. For anyone who doesn't know, a Helter-Skelter is just a spiral slide. And I'll color it after Stu's profile picture. Which is red and white. Thank you for the follow, Larzorl. If you surround the path to the exit of the park with free transport rides to bring them back to the park, will your park rating suffer? I don't think they'll use those. It's not like guests jump on the very first opportunity to use a free transport ride, but it's that they don't refuse to use it. So I don't think that will help actually get the guests back in your park. My beach here at home has every Friday, Sunday blow-up slides for $1 a ride. I don't think that's a ride in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I mean, maybe a custom ride, but you know, this looks fine. That looks actually pretty good, that Helter-Skelter. You know what, I'm gonna call it Helter-Skelter. Because why not? Yeah, I quite like this beachy area. What else could we add? Maybe something scenery-y? Oh, I got Handyman playing volleyball. Ha! Nice. You know what? I'll put one of the handymen against that guy, and I'll put the other ones back on the path. Helter-Skelter in the summer swelter. Birds flew off the fallout shelter. Is that the Beatles song? I know there's a Beatles song called Helter-Skelter, which I believe is basically Paul McCartney trying to make the heaviest song he could think of. But compared to modern standards, it's laughably, like, not heavy. It is heavy for a Beatles song, but not compared to everything else. And it's raining again. You know, not compared to your Metallica, or, you know, if you want to go even more extreme, your modern death metal and stuff, which I'm not a particularly big fan of, but you know, it has its artistic merits. There we go. That actually looks really nice. I like these scenery items. Live version hits way harder than the studio version. Oh, does it? Still could use more greenery. Well, I could add a few shrubberies. Then again, beaches aren't known for shrubbery, but if I do it more at the back and less, you know, on the sea, then that maybe works. Maybe I could also fence it off. The shrubberies do look nice. But yeah, let's make it look a little bit more alive. Just don't go near the beach shrubs or you'll be sand spurs. What does that mean? Okay, I'm not going to add cacti because it's a beach, not a desert. I think I should also fence it off. Let's pick some fences. Let's use the mesh fence. That's appropriate for a beach, I think. Maybe ice cream. I already have an ice cream stall. So that's fine. Water coaster 1 is broken down. Well, fix it. This newly constructed roller coaster is medium length. The guests will not bore to the ride. Well, it takes more than 5 minutes before guests are bored. Imagine there being a roller coaster in the world which is basically, you know, being thrown around like the Express or whatever, but then so big that it takes an entire 5 minutes to complete. Imagine just constantly doing loopings and turns and stuff like that for 5 minutes straight. That would be absolute hell. I see your name, I guess, by the way. I'm gonna do that in a minute. After I finish these fences. I also need to name it. I think I'm gonna name it, I don't know, Beachland or whatever. And there we go, like that, that, and that, and that, and that, and that. This looks really interesting. The mesh fence with the candy fence on the other side. Should also remove this bit of sand. What was it? Name a guest Twitch chat. Alright. Twitch chat, there you go. Coasterland. Okay, I like that. Ask a geography question. Alright, go ahead. For desert land, I can just use the scenery picker. Like that. Oh, it's not the correct color. Now it is. Did I also use... Yeah, I used pink as well. Lettering. Name all of the Hawaiian islands. Hawaii. And... I know there's another like short named one, which I think the Big Island. But I don't think I can get further than Hawaii. Unfortunately. Like there's Oahu or something like that. See, I like this one for the beach. Coasterland. Maui, Oahu, yeah, that's the one I meant, and Lanai, yeah, and all the tiny ones. Okay, and if you go down here, you also go to Coasterland. Need to make this one pink. Coasterland. Which can be sand colored. Then what does the entrance to the deserty bit look like? I think that's just white. Yes. And it's on an Egyptian sign. There you go. Desertland. Charles has joined the queue line for Child in Time. Alright, nice. And I think that's it for tonight. Oh, we got a park with the best staff. Oh, what do you want with that many staff? So thank you for the follow, Ryujin9618. Yeah, another nice area completed. With the pier as main attraction, which I think turned out really nicely. I'm happy with that, I really am. And thank you for the bit, Fou de Trois. Let's see if Brian is still streaming. Because if he is, we can raid him. He started at the same time I did. He is. Beautiful. Time to raid Brian Andrelzik, who is one of my favorite Twitch streamers. Not that I watch him a lot, because he streams quite often when I'm not awake. Or right now when I'm streaming. But I do like him a lot. So, thank you very much for watching this stream. It was a fun stream, and we built a nice area. Thank you for the 100 bits, Don Zia. And, Brian Andrelzik is very good at realistic parks. He's a real park engineer. And he's pretty good streaming. So he's nice. Have fun at his stream. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you for the 200 bits line. And, yeah, have a good night. Bye-bye. See you next time.